So my name is Scott Shaper, and I'm a full-time faculty here in the computer science department. And basically, as far as the job goes, the teaching job goes, it wasn't something I ever set out to do. I was working in industry. I was actually working as a lead web developer over at Eastern Michigan University for a while, and this job came up. I was teaching here prior, part-time for PHP MySQL class, but a job came up in the web department, and I applied for it. And I really didn't think I was going to get it, but miraculously I did, and here I am. So I've since moved from the web department to the computer science department, which is a little bit more where my degree holds, and I've been there ever since up until this point. Some of the challenges that I had in the beginning when it came to teaching that I think a lot of people don't understand is, I'm coming from every day I'm doing something on the job to where now I'm having to teach students how to do it. And it's much easier to sit in an office or a cubicle or whatever and just program code, build things, be creative, and then it is step into the classroom. Because when you're in the classroom, all of a sudden you have 24 people looking at you, and one little thing goes wrong, and sometimes you're sitting there stuck. And plus, the job itself is completely different. Teaching is completely different than the actual job I was, where I was building web applications, because all of a sudden my understanding has to become a lot deeper, because I have to explain the concepts to the students to be able to answer any questions they have. But also my role's changed. My role is not programming applications anymore. My role is creating curriculum, writing, I've written a book, and putting courses together that are going to be beneficial to students and being able to explain these concepts in a way they're going to understand them. And of course have good outcomes of it. And because I'm in occupational ed, I take it very seriously, because what I'm teaching students to do is directly related to getting a job. So it's something that has changed in my life over the past 11 years to where I'm more focused on education and curriculum, assessments, outcomes, things like that, and not so much writing tons and tons of code, which I think some people think, oh, you're a teacher, you must be a master at it. And I was pretty good at it, but actually I think my skill sets have changed, and so it's a little different now. The advice I give to students who want to get into this industry, number one is build things. Build stuff on your own. Build your portfolio up. Make up projects. It doesn't matter what it is. Just make something up and build it and have a finished product. Go to companies and see if they have any projects that they want someone to take on just as a freebie. Because what the employers are looking at is, how motivated are you? How much do you really like and enjoy programming? Not so much of, oh, you did a project because someone told you to, because everyone does that. So you want to set yourself apart and start to build things on your own. The other thing I really highly suggest, I know that with COVID being here, it was very difficult or impossible to do. Now, since that's relaxing a little bit, they're going to start creeping up again. Of course, we have career services here at the college that you should definitely go talk to them and see what internships or things like that they have. But go to career fairs. Bring your resume and go to career fairs. It was one of the best things that I ever did for myself, because what I did is I would go to these career fairs, I'd have my resume with me, and I would go to these people, and I wouldn't go to these people and say, hey, I want a job with you or anything like that. What I would do is I'd come up to them and say, would you read my resume, and would you mind just giving me some input on what you think? And I would get so much input about that resume and about where I stood and what they were looking for, because I talked to these people who were the recruiting people for these companies. And I actually got one job offer out of doing that. It was one I turned down, but it was really great to get the offer. I would never gotten the offer if I'd never made the connection. Actually, I take that back. I got 2 job offers from doing career fairs. And this wasn't like 1,000 years ago. This is actually pretty recent. Well, for now it was a few years ago, but it wasn't. It was a time period that wasn't necessarily like great times where everyone had a job. It wasn't like that. So it was pretty competitive, and that's kind of how I put myself working with it. The competitive edge is I just went out there and tried to make myself, tried to make as visible presence as I possibly could. And getting out there and I changed my resume based upon their input, which made it become stronger, made it become better. By the time I was done with my degree, because I'm one of these 18-year, 4-year degree guys, by the time I was done, I actually had 3 job offers ready to go. So, it really depends on how motivated you want to be to put yourself out there and just to push yourself. And that's why I highly advise. I have a student, simple story, I won't mention the student's name, but this student took an advanced JavaScript class of mine, did very well with it, kind of lit a fire for them, they started going further, started doing mobile apps, started doing all this other stuff all on their own. This student in about 2 years' time went from managing a pet store for, I believe they said about $12,000 or $13,000 a year to a $65,000 a year job. And this is about 5 years ago now. So it can be done. People do it all the time. I have other stories like that. So, my thing is what can you do to get out there in the industry? Create and do.